A very happy morning to all of you, dear students. Hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Yeah, welcome to the science class. Today we will go ahead and study chapter number 8, that's soil. Yes? So, in this chapter, we will go ahead and study about soil and its importance, formation of soil, soil profile, composition of soil, properties of soils, and soil erosion. These are some of the topics that we will cover in this chapter. Now, before we go ahead and study in detail about soil, children, do we know what actually is soil? Soil is the uppermost layer of the earth's crust in which plants grow. And soil plays a very important role in our life. As plants need soil to grow, it helps the plant by holding their root firmly and providing water, nutrients so that plants can prepare food. So, soil is basically essential for agriculture. How is soil formed? Soil is formed from the breakdown of rocks by the action of water, wind, ice, and climatic changes. This process of formation of soil from the breakdown of the rocks is called as weathering. The nature of the soil formed depends upon three factors, that is, rocks from which it has formed, the type of vegetation that grows in it, and the climate of the place. Now, there are certain agents which actually bring the weathering. It could be the rainwater and river water that break the rock particles into fine grains by the abrasive action. Or it could be wind blowing across a rocky surface also, which has an abrasive effect. It carries away the minute rock particles to other places. Then it could be that certain plants like lichens grow on the surface of the rocks. These lichens produce acids which act on the rocky surface and produce fine soil particles. So the crevices in the rocks formed in this manner. Thus, microbes, algae, insects, and worms grow and die. More soil is formed in this manner, and the roots of plants which grow in the crevices of rocks put pressure on the rocks. This causes cracks in them, leading to the breakdown and weathering. Now, what do we understand by soil profile? We understood that soil is formed by the process of weathering basically, and weathering could be physical or chemical. Yeah. Now, there are different layers present in the soil. If we see here, if we look at the sides of a ditch or a place where the foundation for a building is being dug, we can see the different layers of the soil. This layered soil is called as the soil profile. It helps us to get an inner view of the soil. The soil is arranged in layers, and these layers are called as horizons. A vertical section of the soil showing its different layers or horizons is called as soil profile. There are three main layers of the soil. Topsoil, which is also called as A horizon, which is rich in humus and is dark in color. This layer is soft, porous, and can hold a lot of water. The second layer is subsoil. It is lighter in color than the topsoil, and it is usually harder and more compact than the topsoil. And also it has less humus in comparison to the topsoil. The third type of layer or the horizon is parent rock. It is made up of small lumps of rocks with spaces in between. Rainwater collects in this region also. Yeah. Then below the parent rock there is a solid rock called as the bedrock. It is hard and cannot be dug up with a spade. Rainwater collects over the bedrock, forming the water table. Yes, so this is what is soil profile, which explains the different layers of soil. Now, when we talk about the composition of the soil, do you all understand what is actually soil made up of? Soil is made up of soil particles, humus, soil water, soil air, and soil organisms. Of these, soil particles are definitely the main components. Now we will go ahead and study each part. Here, humus is formed from the remains of dead and decaying plants and animals. Microorganisms help in the process of decay. Humus is a source of nutrients and make the soil fertile. Soil organisms like earthworm, insect, snails, bacteria and fungi, they help in improving the soil fertility. You might even remember the earthworms are called as farmer's friend. That's because they help to make the soil more fertile. They swallow the soil, they make it loose, and soil texture is improved in this manner. Whereas bacteria and fungi, they help in the decomposition of dead plants and animals. This process releases the mineral back to the soil, which can again be used up by the plant roots. Some bacteria, they are capable of fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. They convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the nitrogen compounds which can be used by plants. This is known as nitrogen fixation. Yes, so these are the soil organisms which are present in the soil, and thus they help in making the soil more fertile. The most commonly the nitrogen fixing bacteria are present in leguminous plants like gram, peanut. They are leguminous plants that are capable of, or in the roots of these plants lives the bacteria that is capable of fixing atmospheric nitrogen and converting that nitrogen into usable nitrogen compounds, that is like nitrate. Okay children, so the next topic is soil particle, which is actually the major part of the composition of soil. Soil consists of particles of different size. If you see here in this picture, you can see that there are different sized particles present in the soil. Based on size, soil particles are broadly divided into 4 types. That is gravel or stone, which have size more than 2 millimeter. Then you have sand, which is 0.05 to 2 millimeter. Then you have silt, that is 0.002 to 0.05 millimeter. Then followed by clay, which has a size less than 0.002 millimeter. Thus, clay particles have the smallest size, while gravel or stone has the largest particle size. In different types of soil, the relative proportion of these soil particles varies. Depending upon the soil particles present in the soil, the texture of the soil is described. So this was about the composition of the soil. The composition of the soil actually decide the type of soil. The type of soil there are 3 types of soils, children. That is sandy soil, clay soil, and loamy soil. When the soil has greater proportion of big particles, it is called as sandy soil. If the proportion of the fine particle is relatively higher, it is called as clay soil. And in some soil, the amount of large and fine particle is almost the same. Such soil is called as loamy soil. Yeah. So talking about sandy soil, due to the presence of larger particles, soil has bigger air space, so it is highly porous. But because of the bigger spaces, the water retention capacity is less. It lacks humus, and it is not suitable for growth of plants, and it's not good for growth of the plants. Sandy soil is thus light, well aerated, and dry. Talking about clay soil, it has more fine particles than the sandy soil, where water retention is high and the soil becomes sticky when wet. Some amount of humus is present in the clay soil and plant growth takes place in such soil. Loamy soil in comparison is the best for plant growth. It contains a mixture of sand, silt and clay particles in almost equal amount. It has a high humus content. It is porous and contains sufficient water and air. It is also good for cultivation. So this was all about the different types of soils, children. Now in the next video we will study about the properties of soil. Before we go ahead and start with the next video, I would like all of you to pay attention on the activity that is given on page number 190, that is activity 8.4, which explains you how to calculate the moisture content of a soil sample. You can take 200 gram of soil, and in that soil, now that soil can be placed on a newspaper and it should be kept under bright sun for about 2 hours. Now again you need to weigh the soil. The original weight of the soil, we all remember that it was 200 gram. Let us take that the final weight of the soil after keeping in the sun, we get it as x grams. So weight of the moisture would be 200 minus x grams, right? So this is how we calculate the moisture content of the soil sample. Percent of moisture in the soil can be calculated by weight of the moisture divided by the original weight of the soil multiplied into 100. That gives us the percentage of the moisture content present in the soil sample, children. Yes, so now you all can calculate that how much amount of moisture was present in the soil. Yes, so in the next video we will start with the properties of soil. Please go through the video thoroughly and read the textbook.